my friends! Welcome to Empyrion Galactic Survival Let's Play episode number 18. Making some really good progress in the series, so much so that as I discussed in the previous episode, I've sort of run out of things to do here. I've done everything I can think of to do in the game. I've acquired every item, every weapon, every maybe aside from some of the newer pieces, all of the building materials. I've explored every system, which I believe I've brought you along for most of that. We've seen enemy bases. We have explored like production type of stations, thermica stations. We've raided many an enemy base. We've been, screwed, blued, and tattooed on a whole bunch of different planets from different monsters of all kinds with their evil, invasive tentacles. Um, so today I'm doing something a little bit on the unusual side, I guess you could say. I am making a shout out video, and there are two people in particular that I really need to give a big major shout out to. Number one is AsmaBoy76. Thank you very much for tuning in and for all of your comments, which I'm actually going to take the time today to go through, hopefully in a timely manner. And I want to go through all of your updates because you did provide a lot of extremely valuable information. I think any EGS player or fan should be aware of. As I stated early on in my series, I was sort of getting back into the game, so I by no means would be considered like an expert. I like to, in these type of games, sandbox games, especially as survival games, I like to discover as I go for myself. And as I mentioned on one of my previous videos, it's almost like it makes me feel like I'm back in the day of the Nintendo Entertainment System days, where if you needed to know something, you had to ask a buddy. You had to, you had to network. You had to, ask kids on the playground, hey, how do I get past this stage? Or, what tip or recommendation can you give me for this boss that I'm stuck on? So that's kind of the mentality that I've taken with this game. I haven't really looked up anything on like wiki sites, or I haven't looked at hardcore playthrough or tutorial videos. I'm kind of just doing all this for myself. Anyway, I digress. Shout out number one goes out to AsmaBoy76. Thank you very much for your support and all your comments, man. I really appreciate that. You added such a value to my videos, and I'm very grateful for that. The other person I want to give a shout out to is my former partner in crime from the first time I played this game, who is TheVikingWarrior. You know who you are. Thank you for the likes and for the comments and for the encouragement and support. I greatly appreciate it. So those two guys especially, I need to give a shout out to everyone who's watched my series. I wasn't expecting it to do as well as it did. Not that it's doing extremely well, but I wasn't expecting it to even get this far. This was kind of a log, or almost a memoir of of just my playing experience and just going through the game, so I can look back at this after a few years, and I'm sure at that point the game will have changed significantly. So this was kind of a record-keeping tactic, I guess you could say, whatever. I hope you understand where I'm going with that. But basically, let's take a look here before we jump into the game. I have a few ideas for this video, but time is already ticking, and I'm a rambler when I get on these type of videos. So let's jump right into that without any further delay. Where did I go here? There we go. Okay, so here we have episode number 1. There should actually be, what happened here? Should be on episode 0. These first few videos, I don't think there was any comments. Thank you very much for the views and the likes. That might not be much to anyone else, but that's huge to me. 50 views for something that I'm just screwing around and having fun with. Thank you so much for watching and for your likes. So no comments on this one. This video is basically me just explaining that I was playing on a different world before, and I retired that world since the Viking Warrior and I were no longer able to play. We're just way too busy at work. So I had to kind of do this solo from then on, in order to make this series whenever I had time to put in. So, but thank you very much, Viking Warrior, for all of our fun times on the old world men's asses, which we've seen as I load up my game many times. I still have some footage from those days, which I might eventually load up someday, maybe make a blooper reel. I don't know. We'll see. Episode number 1, the first official open of the series. I don't think there was any comments there either. Wow, 106 views on that one. I didn't even know. 5 likes. Excellent. Thank you guys. Much appreciated. Hope you'll continue to join in, to tune in rather, as I keep making these videos. I'm going to explain kind of where the direction is going to be going in the next little while with the series, which I think I touched on a bit in the previous one. Wow, look at this one, 58 minutes. I'm glad I cut down on these because that's just way too long for one episode, unless there was something magical happening, but I think this was just me getting back into the game. Anyway, no comments here. Go ahead and load those up with comments if you want, guys, but I'm not expecting that to happen. Wow, another really long video. I forgot how long these videos were at first because I was doing so much in such a small amount of time, and it was around this point, maybe episode 4, where I started getting some feedback like, hey, cut down on your videos, cut them down to like 20-30 minutes at least, which I did, which I tried to do anyway, not every episode. But anyway, here again, no comments, no worries, 3 likes, 38 views, I'll take that. I think this one is when, nope, not yet. Not a whole lot of views on this one. Health and scouting, kind of a boring topic, I suppose. I'm waiting for the video where you come in here, Asmo Boy. Must be a little bit later on, so nothing here. Episode 6, the magnesium. I don't even want to remember that. Horrible. I had such a hard time finding magnesium at first. Let's see, episode 7. Wow, I for some reason I thought you commented on these earlier videos, but I guess not. There we go. Okay, so here, episode, what are we on here? Episode 8, which is where I started making more base upgrades. The base started coming together. Let me skim through this here to get an idea. Yeah, I started putting up the new advanced refrigerators, the tier 2 fridges. Started shaping up my base, expanding, tech skills, tech tree skills, I should say. Wow, we've come a long way since then. That's crazy. That was like, what, a month, 2 months ago? And for anybody that didn't know, I released my videos kind of staggered every 2 or 3 days, 4 days between them, to not, release everything at once. It's kind of a best practice from what I understood to to release your videos, space them out basically, instead of releasing them all at once and just overwhelming your subscribers. So that's why some of the stuff when you're watching seems a little dated or outdated. You can tell that by the patch number, which was not syncing with the patches that were coming out at the time, and that's the reason for anybody that didn't know. But here we have Asmo Boy's first comment. He says, "Say bud," and by the way, he always starts off with "say bud," which I really find endearing. Say bud, just a few things to note as I'm watching. Just so you know, several items you selected as tech tree upgrades won't be available to you just yet. Anything that's going to use plasma, like turrets, the pulse rifle, or take power coils, pulse rifle, advanced constructor, etc., is going to take materials which are outside the Akua and Omicron systems. Since recent updates, a small vessel isn't enough to reach the other planets. Now you'll need a capital vessel with a warp drive, which I did discover actually in the next video, I think it was, or the one, yeah, the next video. But at the time, Asmo Boy wasn't aware that I was staggering my videos, so I did explain that, I think, here. And he also mentions, just a quick word, when you remarked about the gravity generator and the base's tech tree, at some point you may want to make a base in space. So you should do that. The generator makes getting around a lot easier. So this is a good point, and one that I didn't consider is that's probably the main reason why you would want to have a gravity generator in your base, is if obviously if you're making a gravity generator, a gravity generator. If you're making a base in space, you want gravity. That's what I'm trying to say. As well as, I'm not sure if this is in the game now or not, Asmo Boy, since you're such an encyclopedia for this game, I'm sure you could tell me, but I would imagine some of the planets maybe have less gravity than others, or that might be a future update. So that could be a reason why you'd want a gravity generator on a planet, in case, you know, if you're on like a moon type of planet where you jump and it sends you up into the sky. Might be a good reason. Whoops, we went forward there. I should pause it. But I don't want to take too much time on each of these comments. I just want to go through a lot of this stuff because Asmo Boy put some really good information I feel like everybody should know. Yeah, you're right that I did put the constructor backwards and the oxygen station. I noticed that a little later on in the series and I fixed it, especially the oxygen station. The constructor, I think the reason I put it backwards is because I found it just looked better that way for my setup, and it wasn't taking up as much room. I kind of try to put the big parts towards the back so they're not like, I don't know, it gives the illusion of having more space in the house. Um, yeah. Here I commented that why would you want to have a space base when you can just have a CV? But, you know, there's a lot of things that you can and can't do with one or the other, so, and I'm sure that will become even more true as time goes on and more updates come out. I think this is the one also where or maybe that's later on, I actually stumbled upon a constructor, didn't realize it was an advanced constructor, and I could have dismantled it and brought it home all that time, but anyway, we'll get to that. Endgame is lackluster at this point. They're improving it. It's coming along. One thing I noticed, I'll jump to the next video here. One thing I noticed is that the game is so much better multiplayer. When you have a buddy to play with, I mean that goes for a lot of games, I suppose, but this game especially is so much more fun. I was playing this game last weekend with a friend of mine who I reconnected with and didn't realize that he had purchased the game, so we played together, and it was just so enjoyable compared to playing solo. Not that I don't enjoy playing solo, but it's just so much more fun when you got a buddy to play with. No comments here. I thought there was a comment on this one. Maybe my comments are disappearing, or Asmo Boy, are you deleting your comments, man? What's up with that? No, you're probably not doing that. Just joking. Who dares thumb down my video? I will find you. I will hunt you down. I'm just kidding. Just kidding. If you don't like my video, thumb it down. I don't care. I don't care. I'm in this to have fun, guys. I'm not in it for huge views. If it happens, it happens. If not, I'm still gonna play my game. I'm still gonna record. I'm still gonna put these on my YouTube channel regardless. So, thumb it up, thumb it down. I couldn't give a rat's ass. But thank you for those who actually did give me a thumbs up. Here's another one from Asmo Boy. Say, bud, a few things to note as I'm watching. This is on the Space Adventure Part 1, by the way, and I think in the series we're up to 4 of those adventures. He says, first, since the 5.0 planets are in their own sectors, yeah, which we discovered later on, need a CV to get to those other systems. Small vessel can only get you around in your immediate system, so you have access to, I think, a moon planet. I don't remember the name of it, and Akua. That's pretty much it, or Omicron, whichever one you start on. Regarding Sathium asteroid, since 5.4, the ore will now stay in a static position once it's lopped off the asteroid and wait for you to pick it up. It won't start flying away anymore. You know what, man, I have to disagree with you on that one. I didn't notice that the first time around, but they actually do still float away. Maybe I'm bumping into them as I'm mining them, I'm not sure, but they definitely do still float off, because I lost a few pieces, as you'll notice in my video. Good point, though. I hope that does become a thing, because that's really annoying. Unless, like I said, you have a friend to gather up all those pieces that are flying off in all directions. Lastly, I heard you mention you're looking to make some advanced constructors. Generally, you need ore from Aestus and Masperon, Erestrum or Zascosium, respectively, to make the coils. But yeah, you can salvage that advanced constructor in one of those bases, a space base. That's how I got mine, but the first time I didn't notice it was an advanced constructor. I thought it was just a normal one. Then I ended up going back because I watched the video and I was like, hey, that's an advanced constructor, go get it, which I did. He mentions here the blueprints thing, which I still have not got around to making a video. I will eventually do that, but honestly guys, there's not much to it, and I'm sure you'll be able to figure it out quite easily. You made some great points, yada yada. Yeah, he's just saying try it out next time you're on, which I did, and haven't really used it all that much because I usually try, if I'm gonna build something and I'm in a pinch, I'll just build it as cheaply as possible, and I don't want to necessarily recreate one of my really elaborate ships, which uses a lot of materials. So most of the time I build from scratch so that I can be conservative on my materials as much as possible. And then we connected on Steam, and we have yet to play together because I'm just so time constrained these days. Work is just crazy. I don't even have time to take a piss, let alone play. Payback time here is where I made sort of a music video of just killing stuff and going on a rampage because I was pissed off that I kept getting into trouble, losing my ship and all that crap. So here's where I just go around killing stuff, and I think I raided like 3 bases. Anyway, no comments there. I'm gonna keep cruising because this is a shout out video. I want to make sure I address all of the Asmoboy's main points because they were really good. Sorry if I referred to you as Asmoboy67. I don't remember. I thought I said 76, but now I'm starting to doubt myself. Anyway, as far as I can tell, the green mist is just an indicator that you're about to load into a POI. I did test that recently, and I think you're right. I think you're right on that one because I did find some green mist, and then there was an enemy base in the general vicinity. So I think you're right on that one. The secondary action on the drill is slower setting. It doesn't remove as much soil as a single press on the left button. I'm still not sure why you would want to do that, and I don't use it at all. But if anybody out there knows why you might want to do that, I think he goes on to expand on it a little bit here. I don't use the slower function often, only when I'm excavating and I'm trying to only remove a little bit at a time. See, I don't know why you would want to do that if you're trying to be, if you're trying to make sure you don't lose anything, or I don't know. I'm not sure. I don't use it at all anyway. Subterranean structures, yeah. So I did check out your base and your screenshots on Steam, Asmoboy, and very impressive, man. I'm surprised that you have that much patience to dig up all that dirt and rock to make your structure. That was pretty impressive. Pretty impressive. Just to do my basement, I was really getting on my nerves after a while. So I didn't do that a whole lot. Other comment here on episode 13, where I did a couple of SV upgrades and I started planning for my CV. He says, "Say bud, I uploaded some pics of the base." Okay, actually I just spoke to that. Alpha's probably going to drop in the next couple of weeks. At least that seems to be the chatter. Yeah, it looks like April that'll happen, which I'll talk to a little bit at the end of this video if I have time. We went back and forth here to see when would be a good time to meet up. I think talking, chatting, gabbing, gossiping, all that stuff. Yeah, I don't think there's anything major here that I need to cover. But anyway, you can read it here if you guys really want to read this. Check it out on the video, or pause the video as you're watching or something. Episode 14. What did Mr. Asmoboy have to say on this one? He says, plants will only grow... Okay, this is the gardening episode. He says plants will only grow under a light, and one grow light can accommodate a 3x3 plot of soil when hanging 2 blocks above the center, which I knew and implemented into my garden. I realize you edit on delay, but if you're still not clear, you can check my Steam screenshots for reference. Yeah, I did actually figure it out. I thought I put that in the video too, but maybe not. I was kind of discovering as I went in the video, but I thought towards the end that I clarified that, but maybe not. But thanks for clarifying it in the comment, though. Um, yeah, and then he's speaking to some other comments. Episode 15, here's Space Adventure Part 3. He says, hey, I'm still watching the video, and I know you edit on delay. I'm not sure if you figured out the blueprint. Yeah, I have figured it out, but I haven't used it a whole lot. And I explained it a little bit earlier why that is. Yeah. So that was an advanced constructor on the Thermica station, and when I saw that on my playback, I immediately went back and got it, so that I didn't have to go to an outside system to get the materials to make it. I could just go salvage it and then put it back up in my base. And I actually put one up in my CV as well. Moving on, episode 16, which I think is the last episode that I've published at this point. This was 4 days ago, and today is, what is today? Today is the 18th of March, 2016. He wrote this 4 days ago. To my knowledge, you can't change a structure type. What he's referring to is, I was wondering if you took out the core from, say, a small vessel and you put in a CV starter, would it turn into a CV? You know, and also for downed Titan wrecks, if you could put in, say, I don't know, a base starter or a core, and if it would turn back into its original structure. The answer, as far as Asthma Boy, and I would have to concur, the answer to that is no, unfortunately, not at this time. He says, yeah, for better or for worse, a base is a base, a CV is a CV. In fact, the Titan wreck on Aku is actually classified as a base and not a vessel. So hypothetically, if you were to try and repair a section, you wouldn't be able to refit any engines, let alone get it off the ground, which is unfortunate. And yeah, Asmo Boy, I did check out your screenshots. I looked at all of them, and I did see that that base, the recent base that you made, looks pretty cool. Pretty cool. Keep building on that because you're off to a good start. Yeah, he says he's trying to mold it off a classic Roman villa on Akua, which is a really cool idea. Keep going with that. I really liked it. As far as critiques go, I don't really have much to say because it's so creative and well thought out. I couldn't really, even if I wanted to, I couldn't really critique you at this point. Maybe later on once you get further along with it. I did write back to this an hour ago and I said, you know, thanks for clarifying, makes sense. But this is the big point for me. Hopefully someday they will change that, because it would be so badass to repair a downed wreck and get it back in space. Wouldn't that be cool? Wouldn't that be cool, guys? Get a Titan ship off the ground, fix it, get it back in space. That's generally what I like to do when I take over a base or you know, a drone factory or something like that. I always I try not to destroy it, rather I repair it and turn it, you know, put a core in it and turn it into my own. That's definitely the way to go. Why would you build a base from scratch when there's all kinds of really cool looking enemy bases out there that you can just take over? So, and then I mentioned, Asthma Boy, if you didn't see my comment, I might have some time this weekend, although my schedule is unfortunately very full again. But I'm going to try really hard to make some time at some point this weekend so we can play and maybe make a video out of it. I was going to wait until alpha and then get together with Asthma Boy and make a collaboration video, but I think now would be a good time, because the alpha may be a month out, maybe 2 months out, I'm not sure, but I don't want to wait too long, so I want to keep releasing videos. I do have episode 17 in the works. I just need to edit and render it. And obviously episode 18, which is what you're watching now, will be eventually soon, in a timely manner, hopefully edited, rendered, and uploaded so that you can watch for your viewing pleasure. But I'm going to wrap this up pretty quick here. Let me jump into the game. This video is already getting on, and I wanted to keep it around the 15-minute mark. But again, huge mega shout out to you, Asthma Boy and Viking Warrior. I greatly appreciate your support, and to everyone who's watched. I mean, that one video had over 100 views. That's big for me. That's huge. I really appreciate your support, guys, and I hope you'll stick with me and keep watching. One of the things I wanted to talk about as I'm showing you I call this one the toaster. It's a very basic SV that I made, and I wanted to use some of these new windows that they put in the game recently, these rounded windows. And as I started encapsulating this very basic SV, it started to look more and more like a toaster, and I'm like, might as well run with it. So I call this one the toaster. Not much to it. It's got some better guns now on it. I've got I think a pulse laser and plasma cannon. So and she goes. She goes real good. There you see my CV, which I recovered. Yeah, that's actually one thing I didn't talk about in the last episode. Is I did go back and I wasn't able to recover my SV. The Mighty Duck is a memory at this point. It's a legend. It's lost in the history books. But I was able to salvage all the pieces, put this thing together after. Um, it does make toast, if you're wondering. Very delicious toast. And I was able to salvage, or not salvage, but recover my CV, which was the most important thing since I had all my materials on there. I pulled a stupid boner and brought all of my materials out of my base onto my CV, not thinking too much of it, and then I got screwed in a bad way. So I had to rebuild an SV, go get some Sathium because I had nothing here other than like a couple food items that I couldn't even eat. So I had to build a CV, an SV, go get some Sathium, come back, rebuild all this stuff. And since I didn't have any materials as far as like ores and stuff, I had to go mine every single one off of Akua again. And suffice it to say, I didn't want to capture any of that on an episode because that's just boring. I'm gonna whoops. Okay, somehow I didn't get hurt on that. So yeah, I recovered my CV, built a new SV. Haven't really done anything to. Is that window missing? It just looks weird. Huh, that's weird. It looks different than the others. Glitch maybe? Or is it actually missing? No, it's there. Weird. That one window just looks funny. Looks transparent. No reflection. Anyway, haven't made any changes to the base here, I don't think. This probably all looks the same to you, which it is. Oh, one thing I did, Asthma Boy, just for you, my friends. In the white room with black curtains, or what looks like curtains, the closest thing you can get. You love my singing? Doesn't my singing move you? That's why I put the window here, to give the illusion that these blocks are curtains. But there you go, buddy. Wow, did you see that? Did you see that change? Yeah, there's something definitely going on with the lighting here. Probably going to be addressed in a future patch. Something going on there. Yeah, that's why I put that window there, to give the illusion that these blocks are black curtains, because, I mean, who doesn't like Cream, right? That's an awesome song, and I love me some Clapton. So, yeah, so I'm gonna end the video here, guys. There's not really much else that I can show you or do. I feel like I've done as much as I can do, or that I want to do at this point in the game. I mean, I could go to other planets and build other bases, and you know, I could you could keep going forever with this game. I mean, there's no end to it other than what you dictate for yourself as being one. But for me personally, at this point in the game, I felt like, because this is not my first time playing, I feel like I've done everything that I want to do, or everything that I can do, or that's interesting to do, especially on a video series. So I'm gonna end it here. But I want to greatly thank you for joining me at this point throughout the series. I hope that you'll continue to join me as we get closer to Alpha. One thing to note is I am going to go on a little bit of a hiatus, not for too long though. I'm going to chill on these videos a little bit, and again, the reason is that I can't really think of anything else to do. If I had a friend with me or something, multiplayer, we could do all kinds of stuff, PvP, you know, King of the Hill, build bases, do all kinds of stuff like that. But being that I'm solo and I've exhausted pretty much all the possibilities that I can think of, I mean, if you guys have ideas or suggestions for me, by all means, let me know. But I will keep trying my best to produce how-to videos. I still want to make a how to build a base video. I still want to make a how to use the blueprint system video. But other than that, I can't really think of anything. So if you have any ideas for me, please let me know in the comments. I would greatly appreciate that. And again, I thank you very, very much for joining me for all these episodes in this series. And we're going to continue going. I'm not stopping the Let's Play EGS series by any means, but I'm going to lay off a little bit until Alpha comes out, till they fix some of these bugs, because there's still a texture issue and there's still a lighting issue, as you can see, which are frustrating sometimes. And yeah, I've just ran out of stuff to do, so stick with me. I'm going to be releasing more videos and more Let's Play series on my channel in the next little while. I'm back into Final Fantasy 14 as well, so tune in for future videos. I might do some rating videos on that. I've got a new static group that I'm working with, and we're going to be progressing through some 3.2 content, so check that out. And I do still plan to release a Starbound Let's Play series. Man, how many times have I talked about that and started the process and then ended? And yeah, I'm not going to do the hardcore thing this time though, guys. I am going to scrap all my projects yet again, and I'm going to start just a regular normal game mode, Starbound, and we'll go through the game. I'm going to narrate all the cutscenes, not really cutscenes, but I'm going to narrate the dialogue boxes that come up, and we'll have fun playing that. It's been a while since I've touched that game, and I really want to get some progress. I haven't really put in, I want to say, any more than like 10 to 20 hours straight on that game. So, and I keep starting over because there's too much of a gap. Anyway, I'm just rambling on at this point. Thank you again, guys, for joining me. I hope that you'll tune in again next time. Again, a big, huge, mega shout out to AsmaBoy76 and the Viking Warrior. You're my boys, and I appreciate everything that you do. So keep on with the keeping on, and I will catch you guys next time. Bye-bye.